Today is our ELA lesson. Now, for today, I only have a couple cards left. So, I only have a couple cards left. So, instead of flipping through, because you would get to them all real quick, I am going to fan them out to you like this. And then I will call on people to raise their hand and they can pick a color. Okay, because we have a bunch of different colors. So you can pick any color and then we will read the word on a color card. Okay? So instead of flipping through, you can pick a color and then I will pull out that color and we will read it together and go from there. Alright, Miss Zoe, go for it. Pick a color.
Orange.
Orange. Your word is?
Home.
Home. Can everyone say home?
Home.
Home, right? And for home, we did for home, remember, we did H-O-M-E, home, because it's not a house. A home is filled with love and laughter and family and friends and all of that good stuff. So, that's right. This word is home. Good. Okay, who else can pick a color for me? George.
Blue.
Blue. What word is that?
Right.
That word is right. Can everyone say right?
Right.
Right. And for right, we did like you were correct, right? Like R-I-G-H-T. You're right. Right? Or you could also say that you hold up your right hand, right? Because it's also direction. So right. Right. Good. Alrighty. I need 2 more people today. Let's see. I'm going to do one more girl and one more boy. Bristol, go for it, girl. Pick a color.
Pink.
Pink. What word is that? Any. Right. Good job. Can everyone say any? Any. And this is like, do you have any money? No. Any. Right, good. And I need one more friend. I'm running out of colors. I need a boy. Cameron.
Yellow.
Yellow. I'm going to have all green tomorrow. What is this word, Cam?
Us.
Us. Can everyone say us?
Us.
Us, right. Us. And us is like all of us in this Google Meet, right? US, all of us. I would like to give all of us a big virtual hug. Hug time. No? I don't get any hugs back. Thank you, Emmy. Jeez. Thanks, Emmy. I know you got me, girl. Anytime I need a hug after this pandemic, I'm coming to you. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and let's go through some more of our tricky Y words. Now, yesterday we came up with a ton of tricky Y words. Remember, he takes over for Mr. E, okay, and then he has that E sound, and it's on thousands and thousands of words that he makes that E sound. Like candy, bunny, lady, lucky, happy, pony, funny, lazy, tricky, sunny, pretty, foggy, baby. That's a lot of words. Well, today we are going to go over a couple more together. Then I would like you to come up with some tricky Y words on your own, okay? So the first word that we're going to do together, because it is a little tricky, is the word easy. Can everyone say easy for me?
Easy.
Easy. Right, this word is not easy because it should have a Z here, but it's an S. You would really sound it out as easy. Easy, but it's not. It's easy. Okay? It is easy. So there should be a Z here, but it's actually an S. So our first word is easy with that tricky Y. Right. The next word, thank goodness we haven't had any of these days, is rainy. Can everyone say rainy?
Rainy.
Rainy, right. Can everyone say rainy? Good. Rainy, right. Thank goodness we haven't had any rainy days. Right? It wouldn't make sense if you said rain, yeah. It's rainy. And the last word I'm going to give you is this word. This word is soapy. 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 Good. Soapy. Make sure your hands are nice and soapy when you're washing them, right? Soapy. All right, now it is your turn to come up with some words on your own. Now, if you're listening to me, I'm going to be saying some different words that end with that tricky Y sound that you can build. Okay? So, this morning I was really sleepy. Okay? And I was really, really sleepy. But I was so excited that the sun was out and it was so pretty and sunny. I did have a tiny little problem though. I forgot that I have meetings today until 5 p.m. So it's going to be a really long, hard day. It is not going to be easy. No way. But luckily today I have my lucky penny. So, I'll be okay because I have luck on my side. I have my lucky penny. It is nice and shiny and I had a really great day yesterday, so I should have a really great day today, right? I was a little concerned though because this morning, even though it was sunny out, I did see a snowy owl. And I was pretty shocked by that because it was a white owl and usually those are in the snow. Snowy owl, but I don't know. And I also saw this morning, I was pretty excited. I got to see there's a new puppy down the street. They just got a golden retriever, but he's a new little puppy and he's all fluffy and cute. Oh my goodness. He's adorable. But he was also being really silly because he kept walking and biting his leash and walking himself. And I thought that was pretty funny, that he kept doing that. Write as many words as you can until I stop talking. Yep. Okay. That was pretty funny and really, really silly because he kept biting his leash and then so his leash, he was walking himself. He's super, 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 super cute and adorable. Though there was a small little gust of wind, so it was just a little bit windy this morning and he fell over. Isn't that funny? Oh my goodness. I'm hoping to see once the weather starts to get nicer that we see a few more of the bunnies that were in our yard. I really want to see a baby bunny. We have some burrows in the back of our yard, so I might get to see a baby bunny. Oh my goodness. That would make me pretty lucky. If only I could see a pony too, that would be nice. But, I might not get to. That's okay. When you finish writing your last word, show me your work in 3, 2, 1. Montre ton travail in 3, 2, 1. Come on, you can write more than just one word. Some of you friends wrote like 10. Okay, keep them up. Okay, so, yeah, I see someone wrote any. Any is one. Any, that was one of our sight words. I got silly. I got tiny. I'm writing down some new ones. I got puppy. I got, what else? Keep them up, keep them up. I got penny. Right? I got snowy. What else? Oh, I got fluffy. Yeah, I added that one in there. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Molly, like the name Molly. Good thinking. Yep. Sally, like the name Sally, right? Awesome. Alrighty. Now, what I'd like you to do is I'm going to call on 5 friends, and I would like 5 friends to pick one word from the board and read it to me. Sofro, go for it, girl.
So how many, did I just pick one word?
Yep, pick any word.
Any.
Any. Any. Any. Good. Someone pick a different word. Go for it, Darren.
Fluffy.
Fluffy. Right. Right. Fluffy. Good job. Someone else read me a word. Aubrey. Go for it, girl.
Puppy.
Puppy. Puppy. Right. Puppy. Good. Someone else read me a word. Vita, go for it. Soapy. Soapy. Right. Good. And one more person. Gauge.
Rainy.
Rainy. Good. Right. Awesome job. Alrighty. So we are going to keep practicing that tricky Y today and tomorrow. And then you'll see it in the recorded lesson tomorrow. We go over it again with a little bit of a challenge. Today, the book that we're going to read is Library Lion. And this book is very, very old, so I apologize for the dirtiness or if there's handwriting on any of the pages, but, you know, it's just an old book. Michelle Knudsen, and it's illustrated by Kevin Hawk. So this is Library Lion. Who would want a lion in their library? I would, if he was a friendly lion. You could snuggle on him and read a book. Think of how warm he'd be. I'm really cold right now, so that could also be the problem. Okay. Library Lion. There's just, a lion walking down the street. Question, are there lions in libraries? Live lions in libraries. No, so do you think this book is fictional? Put your hand on your head. Or nonfiction? Put a finger on your cheek. Fictional, made-up story, nonfiction, real facts. Fictional, right. This is a made-up story. It would be cool to have a library lion, though. One day, a lion came to the library. He walked right past the circulation desk and up into the stacks. And once the world returns maybe more to normal, y'all got to go visit a library. That's where Mrs. Cooper used to go all the time. I used to go on hikes, and then I'd go to the library, and I'd read books, and I would just stay at a library like all day, especially in college. Mr. McBee ran down the hall to the head librarian's office. "Miss Merriweather," he called. "No running," said Miss Merriweather, without looking up. "But there's a lion," said Mr. McBee, "in the library. Is he breaking any rules?" asked Miss Merriweather. She was very particular about rule breaking. "Well, no," said Mr. McBee, "not really." "Then leave him be." Mr. McBee is very frustrated. He's not happy that the lion is in the library. The lion wandered all around the library. He sniffed the card catalog. He rubbed his head against the new book collection. Then he padded over to the story corner and went to sleep. No one was sure what to do. There weren't any rules about lions in the library. Soon it was time for story hour. There weren't any rules about lions at story hour either. The story lady seemed a little nervous, but she read out the first book's title in a good, clear voice. The lion looked up. The story lady kept reading. The lion stayed for the next story, and the story after that. He waited for another story, but the children began to walk away. "Story hour is over," a little girl told him. "It's time to go." The lion looked at the children. He looked at the story lady. He looked at the closed books. Then he roared a very loud roar. Miss Merriweather came striding out of her office. "Who is making that noise?" she demanded. "It's the lion," said Mr. McBee. Miss Merriweather marched over to the lion. "If you cannot be quiet, you will have to leave," she said in a stern voice. "These are the rules." The little girl tugged on Miss Merriweather's dress. "If he promises to be quiet, can he come back for story hour tomorrow?" she asked. The lion stopped roaring. He looked at Miss Merriweather. Miss Merriweather looked back. Then she said, "Yes, a nice, quiet lion would certainly be allowed to come back for the story hour tomorrow." "Hooray!" said the children. The next day the lion came back. "You are early," said Miss Merriweather. "Story hour is not until 3 o'clock." The lion did not budge. "Very well," said Miss Merriweather. "You might as well make yourself useful." She sent him off to dust the encyclopedias until it was time for story hour. Do you see him dusting it with his tail? He's dusting the encyclopedias with his tail. The next day the lion came early again. This time Miss Merriweather asked him to lick all the envelopes for the overdue notices. There'd be lion spit on all your envelopes. Better than people spit right now. Soon the lion began doing things without being asked. He dusted the encyclopedias, he licked the envelopes, he let small children stand on his back to reach books on the highest shelves. Then he curled up in the story corner and would wait for story hour to begin. I don't know, this lion seems really helpful. I kind of want a lion in my library. At first, the people in the library were nervous about the lion, but soon they got used to having him around. In fact, he seemed very well suited for the library. His big feet were quiet on the library floor. He made a comfy backrest for the children at story hour, and he never roared in the library anymore. "What a helpful lion," people said. They patted his soft head as he walked by. How did we ever get along without him? Mr. McBee scowled when he heard that. They'd always gotten along fine before. No lions were needed. Lions, he thought, could not understand rules. They did not belong in the library. Do you see Mr. McBee? One day, after he had dusted all the encyclopedias and licked all the envelopes and helped all the small children, The lion padded down the hall to Miss Merriweather's office to see what else there was to do. There was still some left before story hour. "Hello, Lion," said Miss Merriweather. "I know something you can do. You can bring a book back into the stacks for me. Let me just get it down from the shelf." Miss Merriweather stepped up onto the step stool. The book was just out of reach. Miss Merriweather stood on her toes. She stretched out her fingers. "Almost there," she said. Then Miss Merriweather stretched too far. Uh-oh. What do you think's gonna happen? Easy, what do you think?
She's gonna trip.
She's gonna trip, maybe? What else? Any other ideas? What do you think, Aubrey?
She's gonna fall over and the bookshelf is gonna fall.
Maybe she's gonna fall over, the bookshelf's gonna fall. Let's see. "Ouch!" said Miss Merriweather softly. She did not get up. "Mr. McBee! Mr. McBee!" she called after a minute. But Mr. McBee was at the circulation desk. He could not hear her calling. "Lion," said Miss Merriweather, "please go and get Mr. McBee." The lion ran down the hall. "No running!" Miss Merriweather called after him. "No running, but it was emergency!" The lion put his big front paws up on the circulation desk and looked at Mr. McBee. "Go away, Lion," said Mr. McBee. "I'm busy." The lion whined. He pointed his nose down the hall towards Miss Merriweather's office. Mr. McBee ignored him. Finally, the lion did the only thing he could think of to do. He looked Mr. McBee right in the eye, then he opened his mouth very wide, and he roared the loudest roar he had ever roared in his life. Roar! Mr. McBee gasped. "You're not being quiet," he said to the lion. "You're breaking the rules." Mr. McBee walked down the hall as fast as he could. The lion did not follow him. He had broken the rules. He knew what that meant. He hung his head and walked toward the door. Mr. McBee did not notice. "Miss Merriweather," he called as he walked. "Miss Merriweather, the lion broke the rules. The lion broke the rules." But did he break the rules on purpose? Yes. But why did he do it? Because there was an emergency. Miss Merriweather had fallen. And Mr. McBee was not listening. He burst into Miss Merriweather's office. She was not in her chair. "Miss Merriweather?" he asked. "Sometimes," said Miss Merriweather from the floor behind her desk, "there is a good reason to break the rules, even in the library. Now please go call a doctor. I think I've broken my arm." Mr. McBee ran to call a doctor. "No running!" Miss Merriweather called after him. The next day, things were back to normal. Well, almost. Miss Merriweather's left arm was in a cast. The doctor had told her not to work too hard. "I will have my lion help me," Miss Merriweather thought. But the lion did not come to the library that morning. At 3 o'clock, Miss Merriweather walked over to Story Corner. The story lady was just beginning a story for the children, and the lion was not there. People in the library kept looking up from their books and computer screens, hoping they would see a familiar furry face. But the lion did not come that day. The lion did not come the next day either, or the day after that. One evening, Mr. McBee stopped by Miss Merriweather's office on his way out. "Can I do anything for you before I go, Miss Merriweather?" he asked her. "No, thank you," said Miss Merriweather. She was looking out the window. Her voice was very quiet, even for the library. Mr. McBee frowned as he walked away. He thought there probably was something he could do for Miss Merriweather after all. Mr. McBee left the library, but he did not go home. He walked around the neighborhood. He looked under cars. He looked behind bushes. He looked in backyards and trash cans and tree houses. Who's Mr. McBee looking for? Who's he looking for, Riley?
The lion.
He's looking for the lion. Finally, he circled all the way back to the library. The lion was sitting outside looking in through the glass doors. "Hello, lion," said Mr. McBee. The lion did not turn around. "I thought you might like to know," said Mr. McBee. "There's a new rule at the library. No roaring aloud unless you have a very good reason. Say if you're trying to help a friend who's been hurt, for example." The lion's ear twitched. He turned around, but Mr. McBee was already walking away. The next day, Mr. McBee walked down the hall to Miss Merriweather's office. "What is it, Mr. McBee?" asked Miss Merriweather in her new, sad, quiet voice. "I thought you might like to know," said Mr. McBee, "that there's a lion in the library." Miss Merriweather jumped up from her chair and ran down the hall. Mr. McBee smiled. "No running," he called after her. But Miss Merriweather didn't listen. Sometimes there was a good reason to break the rules, even in the library. The end. So today for your seesaw activity, and I know we went over by a couple minutes, but today you're going to be talking about character traits. And there's a rainbow video on each page where I read the part of the story where you're talking about that character. I also put emoticons to help you. But what I need you to do is I need you to write in how the character was feeling, what they were doing, what they were saying, and what they were thinking. So I want you to put in a couple different character traits for each part, okay? You have 4 different parts of the story. One is when Mr. McBee first finds out that there's a lion in the library. The next one is about the lion learning he gets to stay at the library. The next one is Miss Merriweather with her lion helper. How did she feel and think and do and act and say? And then how was Miss Merriweather whenever her lion didn't come back to the library after he had left and broke the rules? So how did she feel? So you're going to be talking about those character traits throughout the story, okay? I'll see you all for math in a little bit. You have about 20 minutes to go get a sip of water, maybe grab a snack, use the restroom, and then pop back on here for math, okay? And I need everyone's cameras on for math because we're going to review word problems. Bye, friends.
Bye.